Edit tools. The edit tools are what you use to edit audio regions, MIDI data, and automation. From left to right, we have the zoomer tool, trim tool, selector tool, grabber tool, scrubber tool, and the pencil tool. The selector tool will probably be your most used edit tool. Its primary functions are to place the cursor for playback at a specific point on the track by clicking in the track, and to select specific track material for editing by clicking and dragging in the track. If you double-click with the selector on a region, the entire region will become selected. If you triple-click with the selector on a track, the track's entire playlist will become selected. If you place the cursor somewhere on a track's edit playlist, then hold down the Shift key and select another part of the playlist, all of the area between the 2 points on the playlist will become selected. The grabber tool comes in 3 flavors: time grabber, separation grabber, and object grabber. You'll probably use the time grabber most often. Its primary function is to select or move entire regions, MIDI events, and conductor track events. The grabber can also be used to insert and edit automation breakpoints. Use the separation grabber to automatically separate a selection and move it to another location or track. With the object grabber, you can select and move non-contiguous regions on one or more tracks. The trimmer's main function is to shorten or expand a region or loop. It can also be used to lengthen or shorten MIDI notes and to scale automation or controller data up or down. For editing audio, the trimmer is most often used to cut off the beginning or end of a region or to extend a region's start or end point by clicking and dragging the beginning or end of the region, left or right, to shorten or lengthen the region. To reverse the direction of the trimmer, hold the Alt button in Windows or the Option button in Mac. The trimmer tool can also be used in time trimmer mode. The time trimmer uses the Time Shift Audio Suite plugin, or another time compression or expansion plugin, to alter the length of an audio region and create a new audio file. Use this tool to time compress or expand a region to fit in the tempo grid, match the length of another region, or simply for a special effect. Just drag the start or end point of a region with this tool to expand or compress the region. This creates a new audio file. Pro Tools now has a loop trim tool used for creating and trimming looped regions. With the loop trim tool selected, position the cursor over the top 80% of a region or region group to loop trim the region. Position the cursor on the bottom 20% of the region or region group, and the standard trim tool will appear. Use this to create loops easily. By pressing the bar below the trimmer, selector, and grabber tool icons, you can activate the Smart tool. This edit tool enables you to use the trimmer, selector, and grabber, as well as create fades and crossfades all at once. Depending on where you place the cursor within a region or MIDI note, the Smart tool automatically switches to the appropriate tool for the job. Move the cursor to the top half of the track, the cursor becomes the selector, while it's the grabber on the bottom half. Near a region boundary, it becomes the trim tool in the middle of the track, a fade tool at the top, and a crossfade tool at the bottom. To create a fade or crossfade with the Smart tool, just click and drag where you want the fade or crossfade to be, like this. The purpose of the scrubber is to emulate the scrubbing technique used to edit analog tape. By scrubbing over a digital audio edit location, you can listen in closely and find the exact edit point, which may not be obvious just by looking at the waveform. To scrub an audio track, select the scrubber and drag within a track. To scrub 2 adjacent tracks at once, drag along the line between the 2 tracks. Zoom in on a track to scrub over a small area, or hold Control in Windows or Command on a Mac to scrub at a finer resolution without zooming. When editing audio, The pencil tool has one function: to redraw waveforms. Often this is done to repair waveforms, such as to eliminate a click or pop on the track. To redraw a waveform, you must zoom in to the sample level on the audio track so that the waveform appears as a thin, continuous line. If you're not zoomed in close enough, the pencil tool will be grayed out. Once zoomed in, click and drag with the pencil tool to redraw. The pencil has many other useful functions, including inserting MIDI notes, editing velocities for a range of MIDI notes, and drawing automation and controller events. To draw automation with the pencil tool, change the track view on a track in the edit window to an automation playlist such as volume or panning. Here I'll draw some volume automation with the pencil tool. And by pressing Alt in Windows or Option on a Mac, the pencil tool turns into an eraser, which can be used to delete automation breakpoints and MIDI data. The pencil tool comes in 7 flavors: freehand, line, triangle, square, random, parabolic, and S-curve. These represent the different shapes you can draw with the pencil. I use the freehand and line shapes most often when editing audio. The other shapes are more useful when drawing or editing automation and MIDI data. The parabolic and S-curve shapes are used only for drawing tempo events in the tempo editor, like this. The custom note duration is used for choosing the length of MIDI notes to place on a MIDI or instrument track. The only tool left is the zoomer, and it's covered in the movie entitled Zoom.